Okay. Okay. Also, boys, how are we? How are we, boys? So, in this stream now, obviously I've been live twice today. I would say in today's stream, but I've already been live. I wanted to go through a pitch notes gameplay deep dive, basically. Yeah. What's up, buddy? Nathan, MFD Ben, Junkie, MDG, United, how are you guys? Abadi. Yeah, I basically want to go through like the pitch notes, gameplay deep dive into gameplay of FC26. What's up, XLNC? How are you, bro? What's your favorite team IRL? Manchester United, bro. But I guess we just jump right into it. I guess people that are coming in later is going to miss the start of it. Welcome to EA Sports FC gameplay deep dive patch notes. Our names are Keegan, blah blah blah. Can be summed up in 3 words: make gameplay better. Which is, I mean, the main thing we always wanted, right? It's powered by the feedback, competitive and authentic gameplay separation, gameplay fundamentals, and feedback inspired future and updates. So basically here we have all the different kind of stuff: dribbling and movement, goalkeeper, defending, passing and shooting, attacking, physical, controlling, competitive gameplay, authentic gameplay, the difference between them, and stuff. And yes, as you guys seen, timed finishing is removed, so we will go through everything in today's stream. Won't be a super long stream, but as I said, I want to highlight everything. What's up, Time? How are you? Kind of excited for next. Same, bro. Okay, so we started off with competitive and authentic gameplay then. In FC26, we separated gameplay into 2 presets, competitive and authentic. And for me, that's a pro player, this is perfect. Perfect. This is what we always wanted. The split is based on where and how you play FC, and with this change, we're able to customize the match experience of each mode to suit what you want out of the game. Competitive gameplay is tuned for added responsiveness and higher player control, mainly focused on online modes like Ultimate Team and Clubs, which we rate. Authentic gameplay is tuned for higher realism and true to life match tempo, speed in offline modes like career mode. We'll cover both in more detail later in this article. So we have gameplay type competitive, gameplay type authentic, which, I mean, we really like, right? We like to have these kind of like different kind of gameplay for casuals, but also for the pros, right? So gameplay fundamentals then. Along with separating competitive and authentic gameplay, we have the goal of addressing the most requested changes by the community and the problems that prevent you from having the best football experience. We redefine the foundational gameplay mechanics, including dribbling, pace, tackling, blah blah blah. And now we go into gameplay fundamentals then. While the split of competitive and authentic gameplay will allow us to tweak each individually, there was a great deal of common feedback from the community, which is basically us, right, that are like getting the feedback right there. So with FC26, we wanted to address this by focusing on what matters the most, the fundamentals. All of the improvements to fundamentals mentioned below apply across both competitive and authentic gameplay. Dribbling and movement, which is going to be make players more agile and responsive on and off the ball, which is going to be super important. I'm not really sure how this will be in delay and stuff, because obviously on FC26 there will be delay. We already know it by now. But yeah, there will be delay, of course. Goalkeepers, make them more consistent and intelligent, which we like. Defending, reduce the quantity of balls that bounce back to the opponent. Big W if they fix this, I think. Bounce back is something that I think is one of the most important things to fix right now. Passing and shooting, make it more responsive and improve available options. Attacking and defensive positioning, make better runs and provide more support, which we rate. Physicality, make it more reliable to protect and shield the ball, which is going to be super important, because on this game, you can just tackle from behind and get the ball, which is stupid. First touches and controlling the ball, and online in general gameplay responsiveness. Super important then. So we can go through these videos. For example, FC25 dribbling here. We have this kind of video then, where this is FC25, as you see at the top left corner there. This is FC25 dribbling. While FC26, it looks a lot more fast and smooth. It looks like the left stick can actually be really, really, really good, you know? But obviously, this is, again, this is just videos. I'm not going to say, okay, this game is going to be amazing or something like that. I'm just saying, chat, it's, yeah, I'm just hoping that it's going to be good, you know? I don't know why it kept playing. So that's how that looks. They remove agile dribbling with L to R2. I think that's also nice. In general, more agility. This is also going to be FC25 then, first of all, with in this video. With obviously the players are very, very poor in terms of agility. But you see here with FC26, it looks like Trinity Rodman, this is obviously in the background, is way quicker with yeah, the agile movement basically. Acceleration types. You have a few different acceleration types. We're going back to 3. And these are going to be explosive, lengthy, and control, which I really, really like, to be honest. Moves like me after sitting on... Yeah, exactly, 7. Explosive is agility minimum 65, agility strength 10, acceleration minimum 80, which we like. Lengthy, strength minimum 65, acceleration minimum 40, strength minus agility is 4. A male height minimum is 183, which we like. Control any player that does not meet the other 2 requirements. Basically. So they will only have 3 types of acceleration, which I really, really rate. Jockey. They improve jockey movement to be more agile and responsive. New jockey animations to improve maneuverability and feel more grounded. Turns, improved animations for all types of turns, drastic turns, swivel turns, etc. Low urgency, improved low urgency and relaxed animations for players not directly involved in the play to be less frantic and have them ready to accelerate when needed. So for example here, this is FC25 jockey. With how this looks, and this is FC26 then. So it looks way easier to move. But then again, I've also seen these kind of videos before from FC24 to 25, and they looked pretty similar, I'm gonna be honest. Goalkeeper fundamentals, deflection control. Obviously we know now that there is a lot of like deflections happening with low driven shots. But hopefully that's significantly reduced the amount of deflections going back to the opponents, which is important then, like rebounds and stuff. Most deflection will now go out of bounds towards teammates or to open space from opponents, which makes sense. So this is how it is in FC25. You get basically the ball back. This is basically how FC25 is. FC26, the goalkeeper saves it towards the corner. So if we look at that clip once again, this is, I mean, pretty much how it is right now. You shoot on the keeper and then you just get the rebound, right? But with FC26, they just rebounded out for a corner, which I think is good. Again, FC26, yeah, they kind of rebound or they kind of bounce back or rebound, whatever you want to call it. FC25, when with FC26, he just parries it out for a corner, if that makes sense. Exactly ready, yeah. Is reinforcement learning. Okay. This is FC25 then. Okay, so he gets like closer and comes out, if that makes sense. Right, he's not like diving the other way. The new system uses machine learning to help AI control goalkeepers make more realistic decisions, which makes sense. By analyzing countless scenarios, better cut down angles to react to different types of attacks. It's important to note that reinforcement learning positioning is only active in certain scenarios, which makes sense. New volumetric animations. These animations are based on real-world volumetric motion capture data. So they do a lot of data and stuff, chat, in general, I guess, then. So this is, again, then, this is, I'm not sure what this is. If this is FC25 or 26. Scoring might be harder. Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like they boosted the goalkeeper, which I mean, I'm not sure. They did. I feel like they just make it more realistic, you know, with the saves and stuff. Exactly 7, same. It's a good save. It looks like the goalkeepers might low-key be insane. Be a goalkeeper, I don't want to look into. Defending then. Now we go into the defending part then. We spent a lot of time focusing on improving these issues during tackles, interceptions, and blocks, which is, we all know how bad FC25 is in terms of that. In terms of like, you win the ball, but then bounce back. Win the ball, bounce back. Tackle outcomes, improve logic when stand or slide tackle the ball to a teammate. Shot blocks, added a new deflection control system to make block shots put the ball away from danger. Interceptions, added a new deflection control system to try to keep possession or move the ball to a teammate when making an interception, which I like. Opponents will feel the effect of tackle more severely when disposed of the ball by playing a realistic reaction after the tackle, thereby reducing the likelihood of them recovering the ball back right after getting successfully tackled. This I'm not a big fan of with inter or shot blocks. Added a new deflection control system to make block shots put the ball away from danger. I mean, I don't like this kind of shot blocks thing because it's just going to be AI in general. Let's just look at the video then. FC25, this is obviously FC25, right? You tackle the ball, but you don't get it because it's going straight back to an opponent or whatever it is, which we hate. It's so annoying. But FC26, I mean, yeah. Sometimes this can happen in FC25 as well, to be honest, when you get the ball like that. It's not like that's happening all the time in that video. Tackle spam, improve your logic for spamming tackle to make the lay after a missed tackle more consistent. We like that. Tackle from behind, reduce the effectiveness of tackling from behind. That's super important. Tackle versus block. When press standing tackling the dribbler about to take a shot, the defender will be more likely to try to tackle rather than block, which makes sense. Tackle personality then. Add more player personality for standing tackles. Player with a low standing tackle and attribute below 71 can only perform basic stand tackle situations. Players with a medium standing tackle attribute 71 to 84 can perform most stand tackle, and players with a high stand tackle attribute 85 plus can perform all stand tackle animations. Let's just watch this then. SC25 then. We hate that, by the way. But that's actually really good, because that's something that I struggle with. Look at the left one first. This is happening to me all the time with my center backs. Or the CMs. I intercept it and I can't do anything. But now on the right, you see they actually get control of the ball. It's almost like a first touch playstyle. Like anticipate a bit. For them to have that kind of like, you know, anticipate playstyle. Maybe they did, Cyrus. I'm not really sure. Passing and shooting. Passing responsiveness, I think super important. We dedicate a significant effort to ensure passing, particularly first time pass, or responsive as possible. Passing angles, rebalance animation restriction to allow passing to cover a broader range of angles. Faster animations, we like that. Passes behind. Increase animation coverage from 135 and 180 passes, all allowing backheel pass to play contextually in these scenarios. First time 135 and 180 through passes are now significantly less accurate to avoid directed run-related exploits, which we like. This is basically like a first time through ball with playing it like a 180 degree through ball. Optimize short distance, low power passes to prefer faster, more reserved animations with minimal wind up. Competitive games, the first time pass accuracy is reduced despite being more responsive. So note that in competitive gameplay, first time pass accuracy is reduced despite being more responsive. So this is basically FC25 then. And FC26, let's see. It looks better obviously, but they will make everything look better as well. Through pass targets, reduce the concept of passing length for same as with the through pass aiming at a specific passing lane. Pass receiver, improved pass receiver selection, especially of ground and through passes, crosses, along with increased accuracy, lob passes, goalkeeper throws, clearances. Shooting then. This is going to be interesting. To make shooting more fair and rewarding with enhanced responsiveness. Our goal for this is that when you ask a player to shoot, it happens quickly and as I expected. Because a lot of times now, in this game, is basically, it takes so long for the player to just shoot. So, that's good that happened. Load-driven additions and time finishing removal. In FC26, load-driven shots will be performed by double tapping the shot button, like in the past FIFAs. Load-driven is now a global shot modifier instead of being contextual based on your shot power. With the new button mapping, we had the opportunity to extend the load-driven mechanic across all shot types by pressing the shot button again after powering up. So you have something that's called load-driven lace shot, which is basically press circle, hold to power up, B, hold to power up plus B. Load-driven finesse is basically R1 plus circle then. Low-driven Trivela is L2 plus shot. Low-driven flare shot is L2 plus shot. Low-driven power shot is L1 R1, then shot. Low-driven volley in air, then shoot. Low-driven header in air, jump, shoot, yeah. Due to changes to low-driven, time finishing has been removed. In general, we felt time finishing didn't add meaningful skill depth and proved difficulty to balance is disproportionately rewarded long-range shots and felt inconsistent in high-pressure moments. Removing it allows us to balance shooting to produce more consistent outcomes, which is important then. This change allows for more skill differentiation through precision shooting, where timing, aim, power control, and shot selection help build a more noticeable skill gap. So let's look at this one. Low-driven finesse this is then. Low-driven power shot. For example here though, the keepers looks poor, right? In this clip, the keepers look poor, right? Or maybe, yeah, I feel like keepers should be saving that, you know? These first two shots, I feel like the keeper should still save. This one should easily save, which it did. But, I don't know. I don't know if I'd feel about removing time. I like it, because I'm not good at timing, I don't think. So, I don't hate it, personally. Trivela shots will now be connected to the new Game Changer playstyle. A player without this playstyle will not be able to perform Trivela. So if you want to shoot Trivelas in EA FC26, you need to have a playstyle for it. Trivela shots became more obvious by players across all positions, often leading to unrealistic and exploitable scoring patterns. Our goal with the change is to balance the shooting mechanic of the game, especially in competitive gameplay. Game Changer playstyle. The Trivela shots can only be performed by players with a playstyle or playstyle plus. So they need to have a Game Changer playstyle to be able to perform the Trivela shot, basically. Which is kind of nice, I think. See the playstyle section for more details of the new Game Changer playstyle. Attacking and defensive positioning. Okay, now we're talking, to increase fluid attacking movement, which also have logical defensive structure. Our goal into FC26 is to make your teammates' positioning more flexible regardless of role, allowing them to make more runs and provide you with more supporting options as you progress up the pitch. So, player support reevaluated the positioning logic to provide better supporting options for the ball carrier, trying to always have some available as a passing option. Attacking runs. Made several changes to the attacking runs logic. Increased the number of attacking runs by players to lower reliance on triggered runs. Attacking runs more consistently run into open space. All players will be more likely to make the best attacking run options instead of strictly following what their player role dictates. For example, a winger could cut into the box if the opportunity arises, where before they would wait out wide. Yep, that's if you play winger now on EF25 with basically on the winger role with your right mid, they would just stay out wide all the time. A wingback can move forward if there's an open space in front of them. Super important as well. Yeah. Balance build up. Team will have more balanced approach, giving you run options as well as a close support options. Offside runs improve the attacker's ability to stay on side and the speed in which they come back when offside. This is important because I think a lot of you guys are feeling this at the moment, that's the strikers are always freaking offside when you try to play them through. They are always somehow like a millimeter, centimeter offside, and I don't know why. But this is basically going to hopefully change them for FC26. Defending positioning, player marking, adjusted positioning of defenders to now man mark opponents when close and inside the box. Defensive line height, the defense line will not automatically push up as far when trying to keep players offside. So this is from FC26 then. This is a great run, by the way. I like that one. So the thing is, on FC25 you just need to like trigger him, making that run. If you don't trigger him on FC25, he's not making that run. But on FC26, they will make it automatically. Physicality then. Shielding has been fully revoked to provide you with more consistent options and extra authentic physicality across the pitch. This might be the Haaland year, chat. Play lock nerfed a bit. Yes, I would say so as well. Our objective was to give players a new tool when trapping the ball and wanting to stand their ground instead of immediately moving. For example, now, obviously, you just tackle through him, so you can't really shield. Improve positioning when receiving the ball and shielding. We just hold L2, obviously. Increase strength-based difference when shielding trapping. And we can actually take a look at this, because on FC25, you just lose the ball here. Like, this is what happens all the time. The defender gets in front of you, and you lose the ball by going into your strikers. Zlatan might be insane with this, low key. So shield trapping. Imagine doing this with like Zlatan then. Poof, Ibracadabra. Okay. Yeah, low key Zlatan could be insane with this. I agree. New type of shielding actions that allows you better to protect the ball while dribbling, physics, new animations, and there's also a new playstyle that's called the Enforcer playstyle. New animations added for players with the new Informer playstyle and playstyle plus. Contested box outs. We're adding a new mechanic called contested box out. Stronger players are able to keep opponents away when fighting for an incoming airball. This allows players to use shield when in front of their opponent, triggering a strong physical action that provides more space to either trap the ball. I feel like this could be really overpowered, chat, for next game. The effectiveness of box out bases on the strength difference between the two players. It can only be triggered if your player is in a good position when waiting for the ball. Following a box out, you can transition into any action to allow a fluid constitution of play. This is what happens on FC25, I feel like. But this is what's going to happen on FC26 if you do a box out, it's called then. It's like a bit of like a shoulder barge to take control of the ball, if that makes sense. I feel like, I just have a feeling with this now, low-key might be just using bigger strikers, you know, on FC26. If this is really, really good, obviously. We just have to wait and see, but... Other physics change. We spent a lot of time ensuring that we reduce physics-based frustrating scenarios that could sometimes occur. Jumping over fallen players will now be much more reliable and effective. Players getting stuck together, that's good. And when trying to avoid other players, we made them more slippery. This is so that player avoidance doesn't cause players to get stuck on each other, which we like. Controlling the ball in first touches. First touch responsiveness, significantly improved responsiveness of first touch. Control the seamless to transition into dribbling right off the contact with the ball. I feel like first touches now in general, you just need to have the first touch playstyle. First touch precision, when receiving and intercepting a pass, holding L2 will greatly improve their player's ability to control the ball at the trade-off of players' move speed. So let's see here then. Before, it was like this then. It was a great touch. After, right. So like the, kind of like if you're through here, before it was basically like this, but now actually walk more towards the ball, if that makes sense. So we like that. Online and general gameplay responsiveness. Our goal is to make the game more consistent and continue investigating community feedback related to online and offline responsiveness via the gameplay responsiveness initiative. The deep dive contains a lot of information such as our investigation to better understand the player's experience or learning some steps we're taking to improve. So this is basically with like how gameplay is if you have, I guess, the servers are delayed. Have been revealed and returned across most areas of gameplay to improve consistent responsiveness. Adjusted the following areas across all animations to make them more internally consistent. Time to contact the ball, board trajectories better aligned with animation, pose fidelity, and animation exit speed. Improve selection of animations to better match the player's current speed. And animation speed. Fatigue resigned. A player should always feel and play when you're controlling them. Competitive tuning. Let's see here. Our notes. The changes below only apply to competitive tuning. Through clubs has a slightly different design. So this is only for pro gameplay or competitive gameplay. Short and long-term fatigue only affects AI control players. User control players are not affected while being controlled. CPU control players in competitive tuning are also not affected by fatigue. An example is when playing squad battles. When controlling a player, the effect of fatigue on different attributes, including sprint speed and acceleration, is not in effect, meaning a user control player acts as if they have full stamina when controlled. For AI players, they will have a reduction in sprint speed and acceleration when fatigued. Relentless and Relentless Plus playstyle have been changed to increase how quickly your short-term fatigue recovers. More details in playstyle section. For authentic gameplay, fatigue works as before. For clubs, we don't care. Improve the input processing system for info and responsiveness deep dive. Fix skill and move detection issues. We made the player indicator more responsive during gameplay. Created a new overlay to better display connection status visuals to change. So this is basically like what ping you will have. So yeah. Competitive and authentic gameplay. This is where I come in. Let's dive into one of the most significant changes we made over ever to done gameplay, splitting it into two separate experiences based on how and where you play the game. Online modes like Ultimate Team and Teams and Clubs will have their own gameplay type called competitive gameplay, while offline modes like Manager, Career and Play Career will use authentic gameplay as default. This change is a direct result of your feedback from the comments, posts, but this is basically not what I wanted really, you know? I wanted like a different kind of gameplay only for like when you have the FC Pro tab, for example, you know? But okay, so this is... Ultimate Team is basically all the same gameplay. We can tweak, tune and change the gameplay for each type without affecting the other. If we add more realistic features like slower skill moves, we can make sure that only happens in authentic, whilst something like removing the fatigue from user control plays can be tailored on Football Ultimate Team. Competitive gameplay then, mode for foot and clubs. Competitive gameplay is mandatory locked in foot, clubs, online season and online friendlies. It's optional in kickoff and career mode. Our goal with competitive gameplay is to create a more skill-driven competitive experience by reducing the impact of randomness and assistance. This is an experience tailored for those who enjoy fast-paced, responsive gameplay, which we all want, I think. The changes to competitive gameplay aim to deliver on three competitive community priorities: responsiveness, consistency, and control. Here are the main differences in competitive gameplay. All goalkeeper deflections try to get away from danger, reducing rebound goals. Reduce tackles, blocks, interceptions, bouncing back to your opponent. Less AI defending, resulting in looser defensive lines, which we love. Fewer auto tackles and auto blocks. Redesign fatigue feature, more responsive and smoother transitions in and out of the specific animations. Increased passing speed and responsiveness. Tighter control and more speed while dribbling, and also skill moves are faster. Increased variability on crosses to favor player skill over repetitive wide play. Increased heading error relative to authentic. Increase variability in corner kicks outcomes with fewer attacking players involved by default. Less authentic visuals when avoiding a ball to resolve these situations more effectively. Players get up quickly after being tackled to the ground. Players show no reaction to animations when hit by a fast incoming ball. Note that while some of the effects above were mentioned in the fundamental section, they were increased tuned up for competitive gameplay. And they also created a new camera. So this is a new camera for FC26 chat. This camera provides a way to see more of the pitch while still showing off the stadium and its atmosphere. The camera is on rail, ensuring more predictable pad angle behavior to competitive gameplay. So this is basically how this camera looks then. It's basically like my camera almost, co-op 1510, I would say. Okay, interesting. Authentic gameplay I don't really care about too much. Yeah, new sliders and stuff I don't really care. Don't know what they've done here. High contrast mode. Ah, right. Yes, they removed shadows in stadiums. I've seen that as well. Playstyles. Okay, we're going to playstyles now, chat. We heard from my players that the playstyles available in FC25 were not balanced. So this year we've acted on the feedback, rebalancing some existing playstyles in order to make them more equal with the rest. Player attributes playstyles. Playstyles bring player personality and unique abilities to life, but we heard the feedback loud and clear. The gap between top tier attributes and playstyles effect was too wide. In many cases, high-rated players without playstyles were underperforming, which is very, very true. Playstyles is basically what you need in this game. Our goal is to make high-rated players akin to real life ability, making attributes more impactful on playstyles feel like an addition or a requirement. Attributes then. Rebalance attribute system to make players with higher base attributes execute standard gameplay mechanics more reliable, even without the relevant playstyle. Playstyles rebalance playstyles to still offer unique and situational boosts while keeping base mechanics like first time passer, jockey, or ball control more consistent for high attribute players, which we like. Because stats now, we might actually have stats will have like a much more, what's the word? Much more meaning, if that makes sense. Because now stats doesn't matter, you just need to look at the playstyles. Alongside rebalancing of playstyles, we added, consolidated, and reworked several of them to better reflect your needs. We reduced overlaps and streamlined how playstyles work, making each one feel more focused, impactful, and unique. New playstyle and playstyle plus. Enforcer, Aerial Fortress, Precision Header, Game Changer, and Inventive. Removed playstyles. We have removed the following playstyles and revoked their mechanics to the new ones above. Power Header, Aerial, Trivela, and Flare. So Aerial Fortress then is the first one. And Aerial Fortress, who has it? A defensive player who dominates aerial battles only in defensive scenarios. This reconfigures the former aerial playstyle to give it more of a defensive focus. Gameplay effects. Playstyles. Performs higher jumps and has physical defensive presence before and during aerial duels. Playstyle Plus. Performs even higher jumps and has greatly improved physical defensive presence before and during aerial duels. So basically more of a defensive playstyle then for, I would say, defenders. Basically being better at defending set pieces, I would say. Precision header then, who has it? An offensive player who specializes in controlled, accurate headers rather than use raw power towards the goal. Refined from the former power head playstyle with more focus on aerial battles and heading accuracy. Performs headers with increased accuracy and power, and perform headers with greatly increased accuracy and power is basically the playstyle and playstyle plus. Inventive, this is where Trivela comes in, and you guys need to listen to this. A player specializing in creative passing, combining and refining the form of Flare and Trivela playstyle. So this is basically a Flare and Trivela playstyle together. Fancy and Trivela passes are performed with improved accuracy, or with the playstyle plus of Inventive. Fancy and Trivela passes are performed with greatly improved accuracy. So this is the playstyle you need to look for if you want to basically perform Trivelas, if that makes sense, on FC26. Game changer then, and to me, this playstyle sounded amazing. So I'm going to go through it now. A player who is known for extraordinary and unconventional finishes, combining and refining from the former Flare and Trivela playstyle. Gameplay effects. Fancy and Trivela shots are powered with improved accuracy. I think I need to get a charger. Okay. Okay. Game changer then. A player who is known for extraordinary and unconventional finishes, combining and refining from the former Flare and Trivela playstyle. Here again then. Gameplay effects. Fancy and Trivela shots are performed with improved accuracy. So this is game changer, is what you need for Trivela shots, if that makes sense. Playstyle plus, Fancy and Trivela shots are performed with greatly improved accuracy. So this game changer playstyle is basically what you need to be able to perform Trivela shots. Inventive is for Trivela passes, if that makes sense. Last one is Enforcer then. And Enforcer was the one where I think Haaland, for example, would have a player that's very, very good at shielding and stuff. A physical attacker who takes control through shielding and when initiating contact while dribbling. Ibra could have this one, for example. Playstyle, performs dribble, shoulder challenges and shielding with increased effectiveness. Playstyle plus, performs dribble, shoulder challenges and shielding with increased effectiveness as well. Basically the same then. And Enforcer, Enforcer playstyle looks like this. So basically like they get bullied off the ball. Enforcer playstyle plus. This is basically kind of a bruiser playstyle, but in an attacking way, if that makes sense. This is like a bruiser playstyle, but in an attacking way. Basically, relentless playstyle with new fatigue changes will now also contribute to increasing the speed of short-term stamina regeneration. There are new player roles as well. The new player roles in FC26: ball-playing keeper, wide back, inverted wing back, and box crasher serve as an opportunity to further customize your tactical approach and push beyond a regular formation. So that's basically it. You have a few more roles for next year, which I think is important. And basically this. Attacking positioning players are less constrained by the roles. If the opportunity presents itself, they can go beyond it or contribute to the play in more ways. And this is basically what we were talking about before. If Foden is on winger, for example, in this game he's just staying out wide. But on FC26 he might be able to actually cut inside a few times as well, even though he is on winger. So, it says, new versatile focus to make specific roles less rigid, added more focuses to existing roles based on feedback, significantly improve usage of regular roles and roles plus to bring them closer to roles plus plus, drastically reduce the negative impact of being out of position. At launch, players will have more positions and roles plus and plus plus available. Players can go beyond the 4th position in FC26. There will be more players with role plus plus throughout FC26 cycle. You can also, for example, here have focus versatile. And it says, the versatile winger decides when it's the right opportunity to attack or defend, and they can swap sides with another versatile winger between phases of play, which is pretty goddamn nice, I think. New player roles and focuses. So now, listen chat, get your ears ready, because this is about to be nice. Wide back. This is a new role then for FC26. A central defender who opens wide to cover for the fullbacks, ideally part of back 3. The wide back can occupy the fullback position if they are not present in the formation or they go up for the attack, basically. Focuses will also, with this wide back, will have defend, aggressive, and support. Inverted wing back then. A modern attacking fullback that gets forward and adopts their central position high up the pitch when their team has the ball. Depending on the focus, can play as a playmaker or a shadow striker. Focuses is build up and attack then. That's for an inverted wing back, by the way. That's pretty goddamn nice. Box Crasher is going to be the third one. A defensive midfielder who can get forward to join the attack, making trailing runs into the box if the opportunity arises. Is slow to return to their defensive duties. Focus will be balanced. The Box Crasher is not focused on defensive like other CDM roles, so they don't consider defensive actions as a priority. Ball playing keeper, a modern ball playing goalkeeper who supports build-up, play as passing option, and stays on their line when their team is in defense. Focus will be on build-up. And one thing they also added now is a new focus towards these kind of different player roles. And that's versatile, replaces complete, which we had before for striker, for example. Used to allow the player to be more flexible and less restrictive into the specific role. Can essentially perform whichever focus is more appropriate at the moment. Added to fullback, classic 10, winger, poacher, and advanced forward, basically. So you can, for example, use classic 10 and then use it as versatile, for example. 10 new focuses for existing roles. Fullback, versatile, classic 10, versatile, winger, versatile, right wing and left wing only, poacher, versatile. This focus allows these roles to be less rigid. Wide mid, build up and support, reworked below. Box to box, ball winning, focus on recovering the ball between the two boxes and providing central support for the attack and defense. Half winger, support CM only, focus on supporting the play, position themselves between the wing and center of the pitch. Half winger, roaming, cam only, will free alternate the side on which they are attacking, even during a play. False 9 attack, makes run into the box from deep, following the ball closely, less worried about supporting the defense. Reworked wide mid and sweeper keeper. Wide mid are now more defensively oriented and ideal for 3-back formations, which we like. Sweeper keeper role is focused on rushing and coming out to recover balls, which is basically what it's doing now. But you also have inverted wingback, for example, here, which is nice. You have Box Crasher, focus with balance, for example. You can see how he moves at the minimap there. New set piece assignments. This is also pretty big. This is what I've been asking for the past like 2-3 years. 2 new attacking corner kick assignments. Top of the box and defensive corner. 5 in total. Near post, back post, target player is what we had before. Now they added, as I said, top of the box and defensive corner, which means that we can put a bit more players to not get counterattacked after every single freaking corner, if that makes sense. 4 separate defensive corner assignments. You have threat marker, post watcher, near post, back post. Left throw-in taker, right throw-in taker. So you even have throw-in takers for the right and the left side, which is nice. This is basically how it looks. Corner kick defensive is going to be Colwell. Corner kick defensive back post is going to be James. Near post, post watcher, and then Chaloba is going to be threat marker here. So yeah, this is super nice. I think this is a dub to me. This is what I've missed since we had these kind of like bars where you could put like, if you had 10 bars for corners, everyone was up, for example. Quality of life improvements, not really too into that. FC25 tactics codes are compatible with FC26 and will be converted to the FC26 format when applied, which is nice. Tactics codes to your profile. This is sick. Ability to save and load tactics codes to your profile. I think that's really, really cool. You can have up to 10 different codes saved. Can delete codes to make space for new ones. Let's see here. Your formation will never change when accepting a tactical suggestion, which we like. Use code, and then you have like different here, I guess. Rush, I'm not really into too much. We add new skill moves to give you more ways to express yourself on the pitch. So you have something that's called explosive step over, advanced heel flick, drag to chop, elastical variation, and new trickster rainbow. And this is what this is looking like. So this is drag to chop. Pretty sick. Advanced heel flick is that one. Trickster rainbow, that one's sick. Elastical variation, explosive step over. Explosive step over could low-key be really good. And simple skill moves, right stick. Let's see here then. Yeah, okay. Right stick a bit as well. Yeah, looks just a bit more smooth. I'm not sure. We'll see. Just to be sure, chat, now in the stream, I see that you guys are complaining about time finishing. I like that they remove time finishing, only because I'm not good at time finishing. I agree with you that there is some kind of skill gap, but when you play as a pro, and you play in a qualifier, and you play 8 different opponents from around Europe, and the gameplay is different than all these type of games, it's so hard to consistently green time. Which, yeah, that's why I like that time finishing is gone. Yeah, I like that. Simplified skill moves. 1 to 2 star right stick forward, low skill roulette. Play name bar. This is how the play name bar looks. So, for example, here, if you're with Lauren James, for example, you see that she has 5-star skill moves under her kind of like I wouldn't say profile, but like you get what I mean, under the bar here. And this is good. Grisma, for example, has 4-star skills, but also 5-star weak foot. I guess that is then, or something like that. I guess under the player. Look at this one, for example. Not sure what that one did. He's left-footed. Ah, he's left-footed with 3-star weak foot. Right, you're right, you're right. And then James is right-footed with 4-star weak foot. That is then. Yeah. Across the pitch. Shooting, passing in a unique group. Not really too interested in this, to be honest. CPU AI. Go for pass improvements. Set pieces. Adjust positioning and run location of attacking players to be less congested and reduce counterattacks, which we like. We don't want these counterattacks. Rules changes. Lastly, our rule system have received some further improvements to ensure fairness across the pitch. Breakaway fouls. Improved our breakaway logic to be better detect fouls involving the last player back. Remade the offside logic to improve the accuracy of the calls. Yeah, that's basically it, chat. That is basically it. That was the whole patch notes, basically. So the main key points then, I would say, is basically time finishing is gone. I would say that's like the biggest thing. Time finishing won't be in the game on FC26. For the set pieces, for corners and stuff, I think that's really good. They added 2 kind of extra rolls or assignments towards corner kicks and stuff. I think that's super important as well. And they also added the new play styles, which I think is just going to be exciting to see how good they are, obviously. But yeah, just hoping for them to be balanced. And for FC26, that the stats actually matters. That's going to be super, super important, basically. So that was all it, chat. 45 minutes of me just, you know, yapping a bit, to be honest with you. Sometimes I like to yap, but this was definitely like more of a yap session with Ollelito, you know. Yeah, cool stream. This is what we need to do more when stuff like this comes out, you know. Thank you so much for today, though, boys. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to read Ryan Pessoa. He's talking with a EA gaming developer, I think. So yeah, I'm going to raid him, and I'll catch you guys back in tomorrow's stream. Yeah. Thank you so much for today, boys. And yeah, I'll catch you guys back tomorrow, boys. See you. Stay safe, boys. Love you guys. And yeah, FC26 looks pretty goddamn promising. I gotta say, chat. I gotta say. See you, boys. Peace.